Alright guys, so today we're going to do a video on how to actually grease your wheel bearings. So for that, we're going to take the vehicle. One of the things that we will need to do is we will put them on the stand and we will take the wheel off. Some of the equipment that we will need specifically for this is we're going to use the jack to put one wheel up at a time. We're going to need a grease gun here. I also got some Loctite. When we're going to put everything back together, we're going to have to remove the braking calipers. So we're going to have to remove that and put them back together. Once we do that, I took some Loctite to make sure that, now it's going to be holding back once I mount everything up. One really specific tool that we will need is going to be, this is specifically for the X3 Can-Am model. So this is a tool that we will use. It actually basically goes into the wheel bearing, inject the grease through here, and you will see there's a couple of little holes that you may be able to see in here. Let me find a couple of them. Where is it? Well, the holes. Right there. So there's a couple of them right here. One here, should be another one somewhere over there. Yeah, there's another one here, and then should be a third one right over. No, this one only has two. Anyway, so it has three little holes, so the grease will basically come here through with the gun, and will actually grease the wheel bearings. This is specifically for the X3. Depending on the model of UTV that you have, you may need a different one. The length and how deep may vary depending on the kind of vehicle that you have. I know that for Polaris you will need a different one. I will put the link of the X3. I believe this one works for all the X3 models from the 900 version all the way to the XRM, XRS, and XRC or something like that. It works for all of them. It's specifically for the X3. So we'll put that link in below. So the first step is we're going to put that wheel on the jack, and then we will start doing that. So let me just show you that in a second. Hi guys, so we removed the locks. Now what I'm going to do is remove the tire. So if you come closer, you can see here, what we're going to do is remove the plastic right here. For that, it may be a little bit tricky. I'm going to use a screwdriver.
Done.
In order to remove the cap, what I recommend is actually behind it, just push the little clip and then be able to extract it. Once you push one of the clips, all the other ones are going to be able to come out. So once you're here, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to remove this pin in the middle. So for that, we're going to need pliers, which I have on the other side again. So here, I got a couple of pliers. If you want to go closer, I'm going to go a couple of pliers. I'm going to just remove this right there, and then here. There you go. There. And then with these pliers, just go. Here it is. Do leverage and then pull it up. Whack it really good. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this big thingy right here. That's going to be another part. So once we unbolt this, it's going to be really hard to unbolt. It's actually almost like, looks like solder into it, but it actually not. It's just a lot of dust and crap. So once you undo this, what I recommend is take another wrench and remove the caliper. So you're going to have two bolts, one on the top and one at the bottom. Once you remove those two, slide it out and just put it on the side. Once you put that on the side, you're gonna have to break this part out and have it come out. So gently move it aside. All right, so before removing, I actually saw that you need to loosen up this little part. So there's four bolts on the bottom. Just loosen them up enough so you can slide out this part right here. So now that you have this out, what you're gonna do is, as you can see, this is extremely dry. It's crazy dry, to be honest. You're gonna take the tool. Once you take the tool, sliding in, slide that in, should be good, right in. There you go. Once it's right in, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your grease gun. You're gonna plug that in. I bought this on Amazon. I'm gonna put the link as soon as I can on the video as well. That way you can get the right tool. So once you put the grease gun here, now the only thing we need to do is give it a couple of pumps, and it will grease the bearing. So here I'm gonna be pumping. The grease is gonna be coming in. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pump some grease inside of it, and you will feel at some point it will become harder and harder, and then you will start seeing some grease that's going to start coming out from the bearings. That's the point where you know that there's actually enough grease inside. So wait a couple more pumps. There you go. See here, you have some grease coming out. That's the point we want to reach. So from there, just disconnect. This bearing has enough grease. What you can do is just, clean the inside. That's fine. What it means is that this bearing has plenty of grease now. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your bearing tool and pull it out. There you go. Enough grease that came out through the holes. The bearing is all greased. There you go. It's perfect, looks great. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna mount everything back together. So here, I put my tool here. And then what we're gonna do, place this part in the middle. Hold it. There you go. Try to feed it. It's not the best sometimes. There you go. There you go. It's all the way in. Make sure. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie everything back together. Here, starting with the ones at the bottom, not to forget them. Access will be a little bit harder later on. Side. you go. Really tight. This is good. Now put back the caliper in. There you go. Now what I recommend is on these bolts, put a tiny bit of Loctite, just to make sure that this doesn't roll out. The hand's full of grease, so it's a little bit hard to unbolt that thing. Yeah, a little bit of Loctite. There you go. A little bit of Loctite. Don't need plenty, just tiny amount. Should be enough. Just holding it tight. Just a tiny amount. We're gonna use the wrench.
Go.
Right, once you put the caliper back in and it's all tied up, put back the center bolt and tighten it. This one, what you're going to do is you also want to be wanting to put a little bit of Loctite in it. In this case, I'm actually going to put it in the middle. There you go. So once you lock it, remember to put your pin back, put it in. Once you put the pin in, the only thing you need to do is take a pair of pliers, and that's supposed to be. So once you put the pin in, just bend the tip. Now what we're gonna have to do is do the exact same exercise over and over for all the wheels, and then we're all gonna be basically done. Once you put the tire back, tie them up, and make sure that everything is up and tight. Test your brakes a couple of times, and it should be good to go. The grease bearings. This is really important to make sure that all the flow and all the vehicle is rolling correctly. One of the advantages of this is really cheap. You can get this tool for a couple of bucks on Amazon. And make sure that you have the right tool for your vehicle. It depends on the kind of vehicle. If you have a Razor, if you have a Can-Am, if you have a Yamaha. All vehicles have a specific width and also length of the bearings. I'm going to put the link of this one for the X3. If you do like the video, make sure that you put a like, click like on the video as well. Subscribe, we're going to be doing a lot more things. We're going to be changing the radius rod as well as the tie rods on the front. We're also going to change the exhaust pretty soon as well. So if you want to make sure to follow all these videos, make sure you like it and keep following us as well for the next video as well.